Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's your brother Giman Romani. And we're back with a new episode from mytaskia.com where we are helping brothers and sisters fight the addiction of pornography. Please check out the links in the description. It helps us a lot with your support, sharing this information with others on your social media who might be suffering from into it. Today, it is a question from a sister. Says, I'm looking for marriage. I've come across many brothers, but unfortunately they're not real men. They behave so feminine. One brother, I asked if I was being attacked on the street, would you protect me? He replied by saying, I wouldn't because I have to look out for myself. First, what has happened to men of our times? They are so weak. Excellent question. I've talked about the emasculinization of men in many of my videos. It is probably one of the most addressed thing within my platform of dawah. One of the ways it affects men is in making them extremely weak, extracting their masculinity, weakening their masculinity. Porn has a huge effect on the brain, on so many different hormones. And it affects testosterone as well. And that's the male hormone that allows, in general, for men to be men. Strength, courage. Urology Times, which is a journal, volume 48, number 7. This is dated July 3rd, 2020. It says that testosterone levels show steady decrease amongst young U.S. men. And of course, this can be extended to others. But from 1999, 2016, testosterone levels have declined in adolescent and young adult men, according to results presented at the 2020 American Urology Association virtual experience. But linked to our question, a male with low testosterone is not going to have the aggressiveness. And here we're talking about in a positive sense. When we talk about masculinity and aggressiveness, we're talking about the ability to fight, to defend your family, the ability to be violent when you have to be. And like in this case, the sister's saying, well, would you defend me? And the guy says, look, I got to watch my back first. What does that mean? Do you think he's going to fight? No, he's going to run. He's going to run. So imagine this kind of man has 2, 3 children, his wife, his sister maybe, and someone comes and attacks them. Like in Western countries where they have been attacks on Muslim families. So yes, indeed, sister, these days men are very, very weak. Has to do with education, as I said. Has to do with what we eat. It has to do with our lifestyle, a sedimentary lifestyle. It has to do that men do very feminine things as opposed to masculine things. They don't go out there and train, and they basically stay around, sit, take their cars, take their buses, trains to work. They work 9 to 5. They're never outside in touch with nature. They do not promote their masculinity. They're not proud of it. There's no role models. Education is meant to, it's very gynocentric. So men don't have role models. They don't have the ability to get support, for example. They don't have the ability to develop in a positive sense where they feel confident about their masculinity and the contribution that masculinity brings to society, to the ummah, of course, at large. So the outcome would be weak, feminine men. And you see that also propaganda is high on this, asking men to not work out, not be involved in contact sports, to be careful, to be more docile, more agreeable, more giving, everything, be nice, be Mr. Nice Guy. And it encourages girls to be a jilbadi or whatever. Now you have these baddies, all kinds of terms, baddies, hijab badi, niqab badi, jilbadi, whatever. Women are now pushing hard. Strong woman, independent woman. She's kicking the back, she's punching, she's training with a man, she's lifting heavy weights, and there are all these influencers who are promoting that. While men are supposed to be sheep and docile. And you wake up and you realize, wait a second, I want the real man. Wait a second, where do I find the real men? Oh my God, there are no real men. And alhamdulillah that you are able to vet and to ask these questions, because a lot of sisters don't do it. They're looking for a very agreeable man who's going to let them misbehave, do whatever they want. But when push comes to shove, and they are in that situation, it's too late and they will suffer. Because trust me, no matter how much you train as a woman, kicking the bag and training with I don't know what coach, being a baddie, you're not going to be able to put up with a man in a fight unless he's some scrawny little man. A man who's going to have the willingness to attack you on the street is not going to be someone who you're going to be able to just punch and kick like you do your training pads in your MMA class. It's not going to happen. And then if your husband is hitting the road, he's probably now, by the time you've had the first encounter with this perpetrator, he's probably 2 miles down the street. You're left alone to defend yourself and probably suffer abuse. What's the solution though? The solution is again what we're trying to do. Men have to wake up, have to come back. It's not easy. It's a process, but we have to come back to our God-given, divinely revealed masculine position as khulafa, as representatives of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of this deen on this earth, to do the things that men have done. If we look at real men, when Umar Khattab was saying that I want real men, when we look at the Sahaba, we have the model, we have the platform, we have the actual examples of the Sahaba and the Prophet ﷺ. We don't have to look far. Education institutions, masajid, schools, Islamic schools have to work hard. Summer camps, you name it, weekend programs, weekend schools have to incorporate this component into their curriculum. Girls also, on the other side, women have to incorporate on how to not allow them to be masculine like that and to flip the tables. We need feminine women. But here we're talking about men. We need masculine men who will defend their families, who are the best at being men. Because women, okay, as strong as they will do and they train and whatever they've been pushed to do today, they're never going to be able to be men. Yeah, they can try to change their gender, but their DNA they cannot change. They can try to change their reproductive system, their looks, their hair, their clothing and everything. In the end, sister, you're never going to be a man. It's impossible. You just won't be one. I encourage the masajid, I encourage the imams to stop being afraid of speaking, of addressing these issues, of doing tarbiyah, of educating the communities, Islamic schools, school principals, teachers. Wake up, incorporate these aspects into your curriculum. Let boys be proud, take them out for contact, let them make mistakes, give them guided exposure to these events in their life that will raise their testosterone, their adrenaline, where they will be able to feel like men. Horse riding, archery, wrestling, MMA, boxing, swimming, jump off a cliff into water within safety and safe things. Talk about safety. Talk about the difference between being brave and being stupid. There's a huge difference. You don't just jump off every building and so on. There's ways you're testing and pushing yourself to develop strength and courage. All these can be planned and strategically put forward in our curriculums so that women like this sister don't have to look around like, where are the real men? I want to marry a real man. Yes, brothers, first and foremost, work on yourself. Even if you feel feminine right now, and I have had clients who have reported to me that I feel very feminine and I'm very weak and so on and so forth. Do masculine things. Conditioning is something real. When you learn, for example, language, you condition your brain to react to that language, to adapt to that language. When you train your muscles, you condition your muscles to react in a certain way. When you eat a lot, you condition your belly to react in a certain way. Everything is conditioning. So do things of men to become a man. Be a model for your children, for the next generation of boys to come forward and see you as someone who's trying. Maybe we're a broken generation of men, but we can still work and fight hard to fix ourselves. And that process is the one that matters. Maybe attainment is not going to be achieved right away, but the process, and our children would witness the process. They'll be proud of us, that they see men who are trying to be real men, and they themselves are going to be real men, inshallah. And last but not least, as I said, the curriculums of schools educational systems, madrasas, imams, school principals of Islamic school, incorporate masculinity in your curriculum. Anyway, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Again, please check out our description. Help us support this project. Barakallahu feekum. Subscribe and share. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.